Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has warned U.S. President Donald Trump he risks political suicide if he scraps the nuclear deal with Tehran. At his swearing-in ceremony, Mr. Rouhani said Iran would continue to abide by the terms of the deal as long as the other signatories do the same. The White House says Iran is complying with the deal, but Mr. Trump says Iran is violating its spirit. Last month, the U.S. State Department announced new sanctions on the country. The U.S. says the sanctions relate to Iran's missile program and alleged support for terror groups, but Tehran says they violate the nuclear deal. Mr. Rouhani, being sworn in for a second term after winning presidential elections in May, said he had nothing to do with newcomers to the world of politics and urged old-timers to see the nuclear deal as an example of how to manage international relations. Those who want to tear apart the JCPOA nuclear deal should know that they would also be tearing apart their political life, he said in a ceremony broadcast live on state TV. He accused the U.S. of a lack of commitment to the deal and said it was an unreliable partner. Meanwhile, Iranian officials have been urging Europe not to side with the Trump administration. Foreign Minister Javad Zarif said Mr. Trump was trying to destroy the nuclear accord at Iran's expense and said Europe should be conscious of this, private Danim news agency said. Ali Akbar Velayati, a senior advisor to Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, asked Europe to take a more independent policy towards Iran, state media reported. Mr. Rouhani won 57% of the vote in May's election after promising to create jobs and build bridges with the outside world. In Iran, the ultimate power lies with Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. He has been ruling the country for nearly 3 decades, increasingly like an absolute monarch. Constitutionally, he has power to lay down the general guidelines. He is commander-in-chief with the power to declare war or peace and appoint all the top generals, as well as the head of the judiciary. Informally, he has been demanding to approve ministers in several key ministries. All this leaves little to the president. But the supreme leader is not elected, he is chosen by a group of clergymen. In May, nearly 24 million people voted for Mr. Rouhani, a source of power that the hardliners, even the supreme leader, cannot ignore. Dozens of world dignitaries attended Mr. Rouhani's inauguration at Iran's parliament, reflecting an easing in Iran's isolation since the nuclear deal. Guests included EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini and the chairman of the North Korean parliament, Kim Jong-nam, signaling a growing closeness between Tehran and Pyongyang, particularly over defense matters. Last month, the U.S. State Department accused Iran of undermining stability, security and prosperity in the Middle East. It criticized Iran's support for the Syrian government and groups such as Hezbollah and Hamas and accused it of prolonging the conflict in Yemen by providing support for Houthi rebels. The State Department announcement came a day after the Trump administration certified that Tehran was complying with its nuclear deal obligations.